We've all played the game. Someone counts down to 10 or 20 while facing a wall or covering their eyes, while the rest run and try to find a place to hide before the countdown is over and the one who is it starts looking for the hiders. Yep, we call that game hide and seek. And while little thought is given to it, it's actually kind of a scary game when you think about it. I mean, you hide and basically wait to be discovered by someone who's basically hunting you. Now, anyone who's ever played hide and seek has felt that sense of playful anxiety. I mean, after all, when you think of someone hiding in a closet while being stalked, the image of Laurie Strode trembling with uncurled clothes hanger in hand really does come to mind. Now, growing up, I was pretty good at hide and seek. As a child, I rarely, if ever, was found. And when I was, it was usually in a ridiculously obvious or incredibly difficult place to hide. I remember one time I hid in the crawl space of my childhood home's bathroom closet that led to the attic. I was barely able to fit my 13-year-old self in that tight space, and I wasn't found. And the lengths I went to not be discovered, they were well worth it. Well, for all it was really worth, it was hide and seek, you know. I was, however, playing with my friends, my human friends. And if I had been playing the game with something else, I may not have fared so well, and I may have boxed myself into a pretty bad situation. Now, there has been a paranormal ritual game circulating on the internet for many years now. One-man hide and seek, or known by the more PC title of hide and seek alone, has gained a lot of popularity, and there are a lot of creepypasta tales out there chronicling the ill-fated attempts of those who have played this game. Now, playing a game of hide and seek with human friends is scary enough, but playing the game with a non-human partner might mean that cramming yourself into a crawl space in the top of the bathroom closet won't make the slightest bit of difference. In this first installment of Sinister Sacraments, I am going to play this game, and my partner will not be one of my childhood friends, but instead, if the ritual works, a spirit that will hunt me within the walls of my own home. My name is Rick, and welcome to Shuddersome Undoings, Sinister Sacraments, One Man Hide and Seek. So, before we get into this, quick apology. I had promised that this video would be out quite a while ago, but it's the busy season at work, and I have been sucking up overtime like Dracula at the blood bank. With that being said, also being a single dad with one human and 5 fur kids, yes, I said 5, a double earache and a thyroid issue I've been battling. That's all made me a bit slow on the draw to get this video out. And for that, I apologize, guys. My bad. So with that being said, let's move forward. Now, as we said before, hide and seek is a tensions-filled game as it is, but when you mix in creepy dolls and the paranormal aspect, it pretty much ups the freak-out factor by about 1,000%. Now, this paranormal ritual game has its earliest known origins on Japanese internet bulletin boards as early as 2007. And as morbid as some aspects of modern Japanese horror culture can be, for which I greatly admire them for, the desire to try this game overtook the internet by storm in Japan. Now, the directions for playing the game spread like crazy, and pretty soon, video social media outlets were awash with videos of people trying this out. Now, I've seen some of these videos, and some of them, to be truthful, are pretty creepy. But the majority are clickbait, stating such things as, "One man hide and seek gone wrong," or "We purposely broke the rules of one man hide and seek." And there's only one adjective to describe these people. Stupid assholes. So look, just because you think something is a joke, it doesn't mean it is. I mean, look at the plague of idiot internet challenges that have beguiled the internet and how badly it has ended for some people. I mean, personally, I don't get how eating Tide Pods, walking around blindfolded, or over binging on Benadryl is anything but insanely stupid. Hey, I got an idea. Let's hook up 2 car batteries to your privates and call it the Great Balls of Fire Challenge. I mean, what could possibly go wrong there, huh? Don't really try that, though. Really, don't try that. Now, my point is, if I have one at all, is that from a paranormal aspect, whether you believe in these rituals or not, lots, and I mean lots of other people do. And as we've spoken about before, other people's beliefs can be the metaphysical fuel that may be all that's needed to give some ding-dong a very, very bad evening. Now, I've seen videos of people doing this ritual with 6-foot teddy bears and mannequins. And I don't know about you, but you'd really better hope that the ritual fails, or you're probably going to wind up with Heather Donahue and the Grave Encounters team in found footage fuckdom. Now, I've been involved, as I've said before, with major aspects of the occult since I was a teenager, and I can tell you it's no joke. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. First off, the materials you're going to need. So, the materials needed for this game are as follows: a stuffed doll with arms and legs, a bag of uncooked rice, a few of your nail clippings, a length of red thread or something similar, a bathroom with a bathtub, a cup of salt water, a television, a hiding place, purifying incense or a fuda, and a sharp edge such as a knife or a pair of scissors. So to start out, you need to find a good hiding spot before you do anything else, and set it up as a sacred space. Now, you can choose to do this any way you wish, but the way stated in the original instructions is to purify the area using incense or a fuda paper, or even both. Now, if you've never heard of it before, ofuda paper is a type of Japanese talisman that can provide luck, protection, and blessings. Incense serves the same purpose as sage does. It purifies and releases or removes negative vibes from an area. Now, I made my area as cozy and comfortable as possible so that I could have the stable mindset needed for this once the ritual had begun. Now, the next thing to do is to prepare the doll. Now, the doll serves as a vessel for the spirit you are trying to summon. And you can use any old doll with stuffing, but I chose to actually make my own doll from scratch. Now, you might ask why I would go to all the extra trouble to do that. Well, a magic spell with a K. When you create your own tools, you imbue part of yourself into them, and they become even more powerful than if you, say, went to your local metaphysical store and just bought a bundle of sage, rather than growing, drying, and bundling the sage yourself. So, by creating the doll myself, the theory is that it will be a much more attractive vessel for any potential spirits. Next, you remove all the stuffing from the doll and you replace it with uncooked rice. The rice itself serves as a symbolism of the doll's internal organs and supposedly as a type of bait for the spirit. What you then do is clip off a piece of your fingernail and you place it in the doll with the rice. This serves as an anchor of sorts between you and the doll. And I use several fingernail clippings and I use some beard hair after trimming my mug. So a little extra zoom there. Now, when you take the red string or its facsimile, you stitch up the doll and wrap the remaining red string around the doll and tie it off. This red string serves as a symbolism of the blood vessels of the doll, and wrapping the doll with the string symbolizes binding the spirit within the doll once it has taken residence there. Now, the next thing you do is give a name to the doll. It can be whatever name you want, but it can't be your own name. Now, the reason for this is not given, but I would guess that it's because names have power. Giving a doll a name that's about to be possessed, the same name as yours, could possibly be some serious trouble. Now, I named my doll Joseph in honor of the legend of the Golem of Prague, and I speak a little bit about that story in my Olivia Maybell video, which is linked down below. Okay, now the actual ritual. First thing you do is fill the bathtub or a bucket or something similar with water. Now the ritual says to begin at 3 a.m. and you can do this if you want, but the whole 3 a.m. thing is really kind of a load of hooey. 3 a.m., midnight, all these dates are symbolic, and while they may add a bit of fuel to the fire, I don't really think it's necessary. I mean, the main thing is that the sun is down, and in fact, I bet that you could effectively make your home pitch black even in the daytime, so this would be acceptable. Next thing you do, go to the bathroom, submerge the doll in the water, and you leave it there, then turn out all the lights in the house with the exception of the bathroom. Then, go to your hiding space and switch on the television, or have it on already, showing only static. Now the static is supposed to react to the presence of a spirit, but other than this ritual, it's the first time I've ever heard of something like that, so I don't know how valid it is. And honestly, if this is a very old ritual that has its origins beyond the internet in 2007, I really doubt they had TVs way back then or anything even similar. So maybe candles or something like that would signal the presence of a spirit instead of a television. Next thing you do, close your eyes and you count to 10. Then when you open your eyes, grab your sharp edge and return to the bathroom. You then remove the doll from the bathtub and say the following: "I found you," inserting the doll's name. And then you use the sharp edge to cut the red thread binding the doll. Now this action releases a spirit that may or may not have entered the doll up to this point. You then repeat the following phrase 3 times to the doll: "Joseph, you are now it. Joseph, you are now it. Joseph, you are now it." Then you place the doll back in the water, turn off the bathroom light, and return to your hiding place. Now you can hide in the hidey hole as long as you want, but it's recommended strongly that you don't play this game for longer than 2 hours, as that gives whatever may be in your home more time to find you. Personally, my apartment's a shoebox, so it wouldn't take long at all. Also, you're supposed to be as silent as possible, which I kind of fudged up by speaking during the ritual and with the beeping of my EMF reader, but what are you going to do? Now when you're ready, you emerge from the hiding spot with a mouthful of salt water and the remaining salt water in a glass, and you begin to look for the doll. If the doll is still in the water, then the ritual has failed. Now, if the doll is not in the water, then the real fun begins. You have to search for the doll, and when you find it, you pour the remaining salt water over the doll and then spit the rest on the doll. Now salt, as I'm sure many of you all know already, is a purifying and protective ingredient in many rituals, and the salt acts as a dispelling method to purge the spirit from the doll in your home. You then repeat the following to the doll: "I win." At that point, you place the doll in a safe place until it dries out, and then burn it and discard of the ashes. Now, once the ritual starts, you have to complete it. Finishing halfway or blowing it off is just really bad juju, folks. Leaving your home, turning off any lights, or making unnecessary noise is also recommended, that you just don't do that. And also, you don't leave the home until sunrise if you're able. Now, what I'm about to show you is my performance of the one-man hide-and-seek ritual. And although I'm always a skeptic about things initially, I'm actually very conflicted about what took place during the ritual. And what you're going to see, I still don't have an explanation for. I've tried, as usual, to remain as lighthearted about this subject as I can up to this point, but just let me make it clear. Although I don't claim that what you're about to see is paranormal in nature, and while I can rationalize and maybe even explain some of it, this has been making for some sleepless nights for me. Now, I leave it up to you guys to decide what happened, because to be truthful, I sure as hell don't know. Okay guys, so we are about to start the one-man hide-and-seek ritual. I'm going to walk you through my setup here, and then we'll get right into it. So, starting off, I've got a camera right here that's looking directly into the bathroom on the little tiny tub that I have that I got for Joseph. You can see it there. I got another camera pointing directly down at the tub, and even though we're not supposed to have any lights on, this camera is my better one and it doesn't have infrared. So I'm going to turn on a little light, put it right there, that'll shine off the window, or shine off the ceiling and illuminate it just a little bit in here so we can catch anything if it happens. Going on in here, actually, let's go ahead and just turn that camera on while we're thinking about it. You can see we got a good shot of the inside of the little tub there. And we might as well get the recording started on that now. And we are recording. And then we're going to go on in here, and you can see a couple things. Number one, you can see I've got static on the TV, which was not easy to find in the digital age, thank you very much. And over here I've got this other little camera directly pointing into the bathroom. Let's turn this guy on real quick. You can see I got this guy on, his infrared is going, and he's pointed directly at the bathroom, and so you can also get some static shots there of the TV. Alright, the other thing here is we've got the little hidey hole. I turn the light on in here. See it right there. I've got my little candle area with the candle that I lit some time ago that's burned out, so that's a bummer. Hold on one second. We gotta have a candle and we gotta have purifying incense. So get the candle lit. Let's get the incense lit. Okay, so incenses are lit. Got the candle going. And this is the Afuda paper we were talking about earlier, and the little Shinto shrine hanging up on the wall. I have my little EMF reader sitting here, and a little spirit box, which I haven't decided whether I'm going to use yet or not, but I got the EMF reader sitting right there. It's all comfy little setup because I want to be comfortable while we sit in here at least. Alright, so let's go into the living room real quick. Double checking a couple things before we get started here. Okay, and you can see on the camera I got the little portable camera facing into the bathroom. You can see the feed on it right from here. Alright, so let's get this going. First thing we do is we come in here, and you can see I've got Joseph already bound up with the red thread like we said. Oh, that rhymed. I can make a wish. So, according to the ritual, the first thing we have to do is say, Joseph, I am it. Joseph, I am it. Joseph, I am it. And then we go ahead and submerge Joseph in the water. I should push him in or let him sink of his own accord. We'll push him in. Okay, so there he is. Next we have to go and turn off all the lights in the apartment. Starting with this one. Spooky. And then we'll go over here. Gotta turn out these lights. Gotta turn out these. If I can just grab the little switch and do it here. Let's set this down for 1 second. Need both hands. Well, this is proving to be more difficult than I thought it would be. There it is. Okay. So those lights are out. Okay, we'll go over here and get these lights. Cats everywhere. Say everybody there, Thurston. Say hi, Thurston. Don't say hi, Thurston. Get this light. We'll get this one here. And then finally, we're going to get these two. Oh, I got that little spotlight too. Don't get old, guys. When you got a grunt just to reach for a switch, you got an issue. Alright, there's the other light. I gotta get that other one, didn't go off. There we go. Okay. Then we gotta get the light off in here. Alexa, turn off night light.
Okay.
Thank you, Alexa. Oh, and this camera shut off. Okay. Let's get him going. And we're recording. Alright, so next thing we do is we go into the hidey hole and we count to 10. But before we do that, I'm not as prepared for this as I thought I would be. Tripping all over myself. Okay. Let's get yourself down in the little hidey hole here. And now the ritual tells us we need to close our eyes and count to 10. So let's do that. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000, 10 1,000. Okay, so next thing we do is we come in here. Okay, and I take the straight edge, which I don't know if you can see it here, so I'm going to turn the light on. Take the straight edge and sharp edge, and we have to cut Joseph's bindings. But before I do that, I have to look at Joseph and say, I found you, Joseph. So, we're going to go ahead and cut his bindings. I'm going to use 2 hands to do this, so bear with me 1 second, guys. Proving a little harder than I thought. I bound him up a little too well here. Okay, so let's get the knife in there. Cut these bindings. All right. Okay. And now he's back in the water. Let's turn the light back off. Oh, snap. I forgot the salt and the salt water. Oh, boy. That's like one of the most important things. Okay, so let me get this. Holy smokes, that's like one of the most important parts of the ritual, and I completely forgot. Okay, so set the salt water right here. I'm going to sit down right here. Close the door. And there's no real set amount of time you're supposed to wait. So I'm just going to kind of play it by ear. And anyhow, let's get the EMF reader turned on here. Okay, green to start, that's good. And now we'll just wait for a little bit. Wait for what, I don't know, but we'll wait. Don't get old, guys. Don't get old. I'm out of breath and I haven't even done anything. It smells good in here with the incense, though. Nice little red light I got there, so as not to ruin the old night vision. So anyhow, yeah, let's just sit here. You know, this is pretty exciting for me. This is the actual first ritual I've done on the channel, and that was my whole reason for starting this thing in the first place. I always found this ritual to be the creepiest, but there's so many more out there that are just as creepy. And we got a lot of those to explore, and I'm excited to be here with you guys doing this for the first time. No action on the EMF reader. Nothing going on there. Okay. Okay, what? Still no action on the EMF reader. Still green there. Give it a few more minutes and then we'll head on out there and see if anything is going on. It's not quite as comfortable sitting here as I thought it would be. In fact, it's markedly uncomfortable, to be truthful. Hearing all these little thumping noises around me. I'm sure it's just my cats, though. When you got 5 of them, they're everywhere. Sorry about the shaky cam Blair Witch thing here, guys. My hands shake all the time because of my surgery so many years ago. So I apologize for that. Okay. See that? Alright. Suddenly we got a little action on the EMF reader. I don't necessarily put a lot of stock in that though, because I got the air conditioning unit right behind me here. Now I got some noises on the opposite wall. And look at that, it goes green and now it's yellow again. Can you guys hear that? I'm sure that's just my cats playing around. Looks like my EMF readings are like they're going up a little bit. Now we're back to green. And whoa. It went red there for a minute. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta get this tripod off of here. He's fluctuating back and forth between green and yellow, which, like I said, may mean nothing, but I mean, I got the air conditioning unit directly behind me here, so it's just that's weird. I mean, I'm no electrician or anything, but I just realized I didn't tell Joseph he was the next it. Part of the ritual. And I'm kind of screwing this up. Wonder if I can. Joseph, you are the next it. Joseph, you are the next it. Joseph, you're the next it. Okay. Are you guys seeing this? I'm jumping back and forth between red and yellow. Yeah, like I said, that can mean nothing. That could be anything. That could just be that could be power cables on the wall. That could be the fact that I got the air conditioner right behind me, like I said. I don't know. And now all of a sudden we're back to green. Okay. So anyhow, yeah. Let's go check on Joseph. So, get the salt water. Actually, got to do a couple other things before we do that. I gotta get my flashlight. Get it on its brightest setting. Okay. Now we're gonna get a salt water. I don't know how the heck I'm gonna open this door here. Both my hands full. That's what feet are for. Okay. Okay. Take a glass, drink of the water. Mouthful of it. Actually, I'm not going to do that because I can't narrate with a mouthful of salt water. So first thing we do is we go check on Joseph. Good. Um. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. I'm take a drink of this salt water here. Mouthful of salt water. So, there it is. I'm just going to say a few things real quick here. There are going to be haters out there and those who will say that this is all a hoax, that it's manufactured. Before you go there, I'm going to tell you guys a real quick story. In 2015, things are going pretty good for me. I had recently started a great new job, and I was about to get my own apartment for the first time in a long time since I separated from my ex-wife. Lisa and I had been separated for almost 4 years at that point, and then with the new job, I could finally afford my own place. It was a 2-bedroom, so that when Quinn came over on the weekends, he would have his own room. I was pretty excited. Things were looking good, better than they'd looked for a long time for me. There was only one thing, and that was a slight pain in my left arm that would occasionally shoot from my neck down to my fingertips. If I sneezed or coughed, I didn't think anything of it, really, but it hurt. And I kind of ignored it, which I shouldn't have done. I moved into my new place in November of 2015, and things were great. And then around the beginning of March, however, the pain had become constant. And as the months rolled on, it became unbearable. Anybody that suffered from nerve pain knows that it's undescribable. It was a constant, intense, dull ache that would emanate random waves of pain that would spread across my whole upper body. My life was horrific at that point. I went to 2 chiropractors and was told that I had a pinched nerve in the lower vertebrae in my neck. And I believed them. I mean, because why wouldn't I? Even though as of May 2016 rolled around, I had weakness and numbness in my left leg as well as my left hand. By the time June came around, I was working from home because the commute to work was just too painful. I was standing to eat meals, and I was getting maybe 2 hours of sleep a night. At that time, I had no insurance like a dummy, and I was waiting for open enrollment in November so I could bite the bullet and get health insurance through my work and maybe get surgery for this nerve issue that I had. I didn't make it that far. I had started to see a chiropractor that was only 3 blocks away from my apartment in August. He was the 3rd chiropractor I went to. And by this time, I was walking with a cane. I'd lost over 15 pounds, and my left leg was practically useless. The otherworldly pain had now spread into my other arm and across my shoulders. It was a constant, nagging, horrible companion. And after seeing this new chiropractor for only 2 weeks, he really knew that something was seriously, terribly wrong and sent me to get an MRI on a Friday of the following week. Now, I showed up at the MRI clinic that Friday, and I wouldn't see home again for another month. You see, it wasn't a pinched nerve or a slipped disc or anything like that. What it was a non-cancerous tumor that was growing directly on my spinal cord. It had, in fact, grown so large that it was compressing my spinal cord about 90%. Now, that's a picture of my personal demon for almost a year, and it wasn't the kind of demon you play poker with. Now, 3 months after my operation, my neurosurgeon showed me this in his office, and it struck me cold. An ambulance took me straight from the MRI to the hospital. The operation took place in September, a week later. 2 days before the operation, my neurologist came to have a talk with me. Now, he told me that the tumor was engulfing almost all of the nerve pathways out of my spinal cord in that area, and that in order to remove the entire thing, he was going to need to cut 2 nerves permanently. And doing so would have permanent effect on both of my hands and my arms down to my elbows. The pinky and ring finger and middle fingers, as well as that side of both hands, and the majority of my arms would be completely numb. I would, however, still be able to move the fingers, but I would need to learn to do that all over again. The rest of my hands would feel as though they were just to that point right before an appendage falls asleep. It would be this way forever. It was also that after the surgery, my legs decided to stop working because my spinal cord began to heal itself and fill in the gap from where it was compressed. After I was released from the hospital, a week later, I went to rehabilitation where I spent 10 days, and then they sent me home with a walker. Eventually, I was able to self-rehab and teach myself how to walk again, use my hands again, but it took over a year before I was back to what could be considered normal. It was a long road, but as everything in my life, my sole motivation was to get better for my son Quinn, who is the absolute light of my life. Now today, if you were to look at me, you'd never know there was anything wrong unless you looked very closely. I mean, I can ride a bike, I can run, I can do most things I used to do, but the effects on my hands are always going to be there, as well as light vertigo and some pain once in a while. Now, I used to love card and coin magic, but now all that stuff just gathers dust because the dexterity of my hands is about 50% of what it used to be, and my hands shake all the time. I don't know if you can see that, but they do shake. Now, I do almost everything at about 60% muscle memory. As I was typing this script, my fingers could not feel the keyboard, and that's how it is. So, the whole part of this narrative is that even if I wanted to try to fake something like this, because of my hands and my condition in general, I just can't. This entire YouTube thing is a solo endeavor, guys, and I would also have to have partner or partners to help me pull something off like that. So, either way, those of you who feel the need to pick this video apart and look for signs that I faked it, I just say, go for it. I never have said that Joseph got up and moved on his own. I've never claimed that the ritual game worked. All I know is that something happened. As to what, I'm not sure. Now, my bathroom camera cutting off of me, I found out was because the auto off was set for 15 minutes, so that was my fault. The weird timestamp on my bedroom camera was also my fault, that it was somewhat set that way automatically. The flickering interference on the cameras, that I can't explain. And I can't explain my cat's reactions to something occurring in the hallway. The bathroom door closing and opening on its own, I'd like to think was a draft, but that explanation seems kind of weak to me. The knocking on the wall opposite me in the closet was again most likely my feline roommates. And the EF readings, they could have been attributed to the air duct that was directly behind my closet, but the way the EMF went red right after I told Joseph he was it from the closet is more than a little bit of strange, and I'd like to think that it was a coincidence, but I know from personal experience there really is no such thing. The long and the short of it is that I was and am still shaken by the whole thing. As a bonus, since I dropped the glass of water, I was not able to pour it and or spit it on the doll, which is supposed to be what expels the spirit. And as a result, I did not burn the doll afterwards as the ritual dictates, and I instead put Joseph in a little glass box a la Annabelle until I figure out what to do with him. His box has protective this and that's adorning it because, well, just because. Now, as a final note, well, I know how to protect myself from things that go bump in the night. Something like this is no less terrifying for me than it would be for anybody else. I mean, I'm just a traveler like anybody else, and I have no idea what's waiting around the corner for me either. So I'm all alone when I spin the bottle, which makes it more than unnerving when someone kisses back. So guys, that's it for now. My next video is going to be on the case of the nameless horror, 50 Berkeley Square in London. And then we'll be doing either the Black Telephone Ritual or the hosting game with maybe some Charlie thrown in for good measure. Please like and subscribe and ring the bell so you get updates when I load new videos. And please leave some comments on this for me. Maybe someone out there can give me some insight on this that I overlooked as to what happened. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. Until then, guys, as always, keep the wind to your back, the moonlight on your face, and be safe out there. I love you all. I'm out.